The 26th of December 1944. Lubang Island, Philippines. Second Lieutenant Hiroo Onoda stands on a volcanic ridge overlooking a 48-square-mile prison he doesn't know is a prison yet. He's 22 years old. Imperial Japanese Army intelligence officer. His orders from Major Yoshimi Taniguchi are explicit. Destroy the airstrip and harbor pier, then conduct guerrilla operations until relieved by Japanese forces. Fight on no matter what. The American invasion fleet is 3 days out. Onoda is not a regular infantryman. He trained at the Imperial Nakano School, Japan's intelligence academy for guerrilla warfare, propaganda analysis, covert operations. They taught him judo, philosophy, survival tactics, and one doctrine, above all others. Never surrender, never believe enemy information, never trust what looks like defeat. The Nakano School produced soldiers designed to operate alone, to distrust everything, to view capture as ideological betrayal. Onoda graduated top of his class. Lubang Island is 48 square miles of dense jungle and volcanic ridges southwest of Manila Bay. Mountainous interior, limited fresh water, maybe 5,000 Filipino civilians scattered in coastal villages. The terrain is thick enough to hide but small enough that search parties will comb every valley. It's not a wilderness where you disappear into vastness. It's a cage with green bars. His mission is impossible in a way he won't understand for 3 decades. He's supposed to conduct guerrilla operations until Japanese forces relieve him. But Japan is losing the war. In 8 months, the emperor will surrender. Onoda's war will end everywhere except in his head. The real enemy isn't the Americans or the Filipino guerrillas. It's time. It's information. It's the fact that his orders contain no expiration date and his training taught him to reject all evidence of defeat. The question isn't how one soldier survives 29 years in the jungle. Survival is just discipline and calories. Survival is just discipline and calories. The question is, what does it take to make a soldier believe a war is over when his orders explicitly forbid surrender and his training taught him that surrender announcements are enemy propaganda? How do you end a mission that has no end condition? Onoda has 3 men under his command. Private Yuichi Akatsu, 22, Corporal Shoichi Shimada, 30. Private First Class Kenshichi Kozuka, 24. 7 mm, effective range, 500 meters, 5-round internal magazine. Ammunition is already limited. They have grenades, a few hundred rounds, knives, stolen Filipino maps. They know the island's cave systems, water sources, observation points. They're trained. They're disciplined. They're about to fight a war that will outlast the Japanese Empire, the American occupation, Philippine independence, and the entire Cold War. February 1945, American forces land. Onoda's cell withdraws into the interior. They execute the mission exactly as trained. Sabotage the airstrip with explosives, destroy pier infrastructure, then vanish into the jungle. They raid supply depots. They gather intelligence on troop movements. They avoid direct engagement. The guerrilla tactics work because the war is real. They're effective because they're fighting an actual enemy. The 15th of August, 1940. 5 leaflets fall from American aircraft. Japan has surrendered. The war is over. Onoda reads the leaflet. His training identifies it immediately. Enemy psychological warfare. The Nakano School spent months teaching him to expect exactly this. Surrender announcements are standard deception. The emperor would never surrender. The leaflet is propaganda. The mission continues. More leaflets. Loudspeakers in the valleys. Filipino civilians shouting in Japanese that the war is over. Onoda's cell analyzes each piece of evidence and finds it insufficient. The surrender announcement could be forged. The loudspeakers could be enemy broadcasts. The civilians could be coerced. Nothing meets the standard of proof his training demands. His orders said, fight on no matter what. He's fighting on. October 1945, a Japanese general's surrender order is dropped in a canister. Onoda examines it. The signature looks wrong. The phrasing seems odd. It could be a forgery. Even if it's real, it could be a general surrendering under duress. His orders came from Major Taniguchi. Only Major Taniguchi can relieve him. The war continues. 1946. Private Akatsu surrenders. He walks out of the jungle and gives himself up to Filipino police. Onoda watches him go. The cell is now 3. Akatsu was weak. The enemy's psychological warfare worked on him. It won't work on Onoda. The mission continues. 1950. Private Kozuka surrenders. The cell is now 2, Onoda and Corporal Shimada. They adapt. Longer intervals between raids. Deeper concealment. Stricter operational security. They steal rice from farmers. They hunt cattle. They forage. They maintain their weapons. They conduct reconnaissance. They remain soldiers of the Empire of Japan on an island where that empire no longer exists. The war is over everywhere except in Onoda's mind. But his mind is where the war will be fought for the next 24 years. 4 men. 1 island. Orders that forbid surrender. February 1945. American forces secure Luzon. Lubang becomes a footnote. Onoda's cell withdraws deeper into the interior mountains, rotating between 3 cave positions, moving only at night. They watch American patrols from ridgelines, count ships in the harbor, wait for the counteroffensive that will never come. August 15th, 1945. Leaflets fall from American aircraft. Japan has surrendered unconditionally. The Emperor himself has announced it. The war is over. Onoda reads the leaflet, examines the paper quality, the printing technique, the phrasing. His training at Nakano School covered this exact scenario. Psychological warfare. Fake surrender announcements designed to flush out holdouts. The leaflet even mentions the Emperor, a transparent attempt to exploit Japanese loyalty. He burns it. His orders were explicit. Major Taniguchi told him directly, the enemy will use every trick to make you surrender. Fake newspapers, fake radio broadcasts. Actors posing as Japanese officers. Trust nothing. Fight on. The cell continues operations. September 1945. More leaflets. Newspapers dropped by aircraft showing Emperor Hirohito signing surrender documents. Photographers of Tokyo in ruins. Maps showing Allied occupation zones. Onoda studies each one. The printing is too clean. The photographs too well composed. If Japan had truly lost, why would Americans waste resources dropping propaganda on one insignificant island? The attention itself proves their continued threat value. They raid a Filipino farm, steal rice, sweet potatoes, a machete, leave no witnesses. October 1945, American forces withdraw from Lubang. Filipino constabulary takes over. The jungle becomes quieter. Fewer patrols. Longer intervals between search parties. Onoda interprets this as strategic patience. The Americans are waiting for them to lower their guard. The cell adapts. They move camps every 3 days. Bury their waste. Erase footprints. Drink only from streams that can't be poisoned. Their Type 99 rifles are cleaned daily, each round accounted for. They have 2,000 rounds between them. At current consumption rates, enough for 5 years of selective engagement. Private Yuichi Akatsu, the youngest, age 20, begins showing signs of stress. He talks about his family, wonders if the leaflets might be real. Onoda shuts down these conversations immediately. Weakness spreads. February 1946. 15 months after the cell's insertion, Akatsu disappears during a night movement. No firefight. No blood trail. He simply walks away from his position and doesn't return. Onoda assumes capture or death. 6 months later, they learn the truth. Akatsu surrendered, walked into a Filipino police station and gave himself up. He's alive, unharmed, repatriated to Japan. This confirms everything. The enemy doesn't execute surrendering soldiers. They use them as propaganda. Akatsu is probably being paraded through Tokyo right now, telling Japanese citizens the war is lost. Classic demoralization tactics. 3 men remain. The raids continue. They target isolated farms, steal food and supplies, avoid contact with security forces. Onoda estimates they've conducted 47 successful resource acquisitions with 0 casualties. The guerrilla campaign is working. September 1949. Another defection. Private First Class Siochi leaves the cell. Same pattern as Akatsu. No combat. He just walks away and surrenders. 2 men now. Onoda and Corporal Shuichi Shimada. Shimada is 38 years old, a career soldier, steady. He doesn't question the mission. The two of them establish a new operational rhythm. Longer patrol intervals. Deeper concealment. They speak less, move more carefully, trust nothing. The Philippine government organizes search parties. Former Japanese soldiers are brought to the island with loudspeakers, calling their names, pleading with them to come home. Onoda recognizes voices. Men he trained with at Nakano. Obvious enemy agents. The Americans have clearly captured and turned them. October 1950. Onoda's family is brought to Lubang. His brother speaks through a loudspeaker, reading a letter from their mother. Personal details only family would know. Childhood memories. The name of their dog. Onoda listens from 800 meters away, hidden in thick jungle. His brother's voice is real. The details are accurate. But the context is enemy-controlled. They're using his family as psychological leverage. It means the Americans still consider him a threat. He does not respond. 1952. The raids continue. A farmer is killed during a rice acquisition. Onoda didn't intend it. The man fought back, grabbed for Shimada's rifle. But the result is the same. The Philippine government increases patrols. The jungle becomes more dangerous. Onoda and Shimada adjust. They move camps more frequently, extend the interval between raids, reduce their caloric intake. Onoda is 30 years old. His weight has dropped from 72 kilograms to 58. Shimada, 41, shows signs of chronic malnutrition. Parasitic infections, dental problems from lack of proper nutrition. They maintain weapons discipline. The Type 99 rifles still function perfectly. 1955. A decade since insertion, the search parties have become routine. Onoda can predict their patterns. Arrival dates, patrol routes, duration. The Philippine government is going through the motions now. They don't expect to find anyone. Onoda takes this as confirmation. If they'd truly given up, they'd stop searching entirely. The continued operations prove he's still disrupting enemy plans. 1959. 1959. The Japanese government officially declares Onoda and Shimada dead. Memorial services are held. Their names are added to war monuments. The searches stop. Onoda is 37 years old. He has been fighting for 14 years. The jungle is quiet now. No more loudspeakers. No more search parties. Just 2 soldiers, aging, malnourished, maintaining a guerrilla campaign against an enemy that has stopped looking. The mission continues. Onoda's cell has shrunk from 4 to 2, but the guerrilla campaign continues, disciplined, invisible, and increasingly disconnected from a world that has moved on. 1959. The Japanese government officially declares 2nd Lieutenant Hiroo Onoda and Corporal Shuichi Shimada dead. Search operations cease. Their families hold memorial services. The world forgets them. Onoda does not notice. He is 37 years old and still at war. The next 13 years compress into tactical routine. Morning reconnaissance along the western ridgeline. Morning reconnaissance along the western ridgeline. Afternoon foraging in the interior valleys. Evening weapon maintenance by firelight in rotating cave positions. Every 3rd week, a raid on Filipino farmsteads for rice and livestock. The Type 99 Arasaka is cleaned daily. Ammunition count, 487 rounds. Number resupply coming. No resupply needed if you never waste a shot. They avoid all contact. When search parties sweep the island in the 1960s, Onoda and Shimada move through pre-scouted evasion routes, staying 2 valleys ahead. When helicopters appear, they remain motionless under canopy cover until the sound fades. Discipline is survival. Routine is purpose. Onoda is aging in combat mode. At 45, He can still move silently through dense jungle, still identify aircraft by engine sound, still estimate range to within 10 meters. His teeth are rotting. His body carries parasites he cannot name. He weighs 58 kilograms. None of this matters. The mission continues. October 19, 1972. Lubang Island. Corporal Shimada, age 52, is killed in a firefight with Filipino police near the village of Loc, single gunshot wound. Onoda recovers the body, buries it in a concealed position, marks the coordinates. He is now alone. The tactical adjustments are immediate. Solo operations require stricter security protocols. He can no longer maintain a watch rotation, so he sleeps in 3-hour intervals, never in the same position twice. Movement is restricted to pre-dawn and dusk. Resource acquisition becomes more dangerous without overwatch. He reduces raid frequency to minimize exposure. He is 50 years old. He has been at war for 28 years. He does not question the mission. The orders were clear. Remain in place and fight on no matter what. Major Taniguchi did not specify an end date. Therefore, there is no end date. February 1974. A Japanese man named Norio Suzuki, age 24, arrives on Lubang Island. He is not military. He is an adventurer who has publicly stated his goal to find a panda, the abominable snowman, and Lieutenant Onoda, in that order. He camps in the jungle and waits. Onoda observes him for 4 days, unarmed, alone. Poor fieldcraft, speaking Japanese, not a threat. Possibly bait. On the 5th day, Onoda makes contact. Suzuki shows him newspapers. Photographs of Tokyo in 1974. Emperor Hirohito, still alive. Japan rebuilt, prosperous, allied with America. The Vietnam War ending. Nixon resigning. The world has moved on. Onoda examines the evidence. Professional forgeries. The enemy has improved their propaganda techniques. Impressive commitment to the deception. Bringing a civilian deep into the jungle for this performance. But the logic is unchanged. His orders forbid surrender, and enemy information cannot be trusted. Suzuki asks what it would take for him to stand down. Onoda's answer is immediate. Orders from Major Yoshimi Taniguchi, his commanding officer. Proper military protocol. Chain of command. Nothing else is valid. Suzuki returns to Japan. He locates Major Taniguchi, now age 74, a civilian bookseller in Tokyo. The Japanese government arranges transport to Lubang Island. March 9, 1974. Major Taniguchi, in civilian clothes, meets 2nd Lieutenant Onoda at a prearranged position in the jungle. Onoda salutes. Taniguchi reads the orders. You are hereby relieved of all combat duties. The war has ended. Onoda accepts the orders. The mission is complete. He emerges from the jungle in full uniform. Wool jacket weathered, but intact. Garrison cap faded, but recognizable. Type 99 Arisaka rifle, cleaned and functioning after 29 years. 500 rounds of ammunition, several hand grenades, a dagger, his sword wrapped in oilcloth. Everything he carried in 1944, maintained through 10,416 days. He formally surrenders his weapon to Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos. The ceremony is brief. Onoda salutes. The war ends. Medical examination. Age 52, height 167 centimeters, weight 58 kilograms, malnourished but mobile, parasitic infections, severe dental decay, eyesight deteriorating, psychologically coherent, no signs of delusion or breakdown. He was not insane. He was following orders. The Philippine government pardons him for an estimated 30 civilian deaths during his guerrilla campaign. He returns to Japan. Media coverage is global. He is celebrated, analyzed, interviewed. He does not consider himself a hero. He was a soldier who completed his mission late. Lubang Island had zero strategic value after 1945. Onoda's 29-year guerrilla campaign accomplished nothing militarily. It cost lives, resources, and decades of effort to resolve. but it proves something about the nature of orders, belief, and the trap of absolute duty. Onoda emigrated to Brazil in 1975. He could not reconcile the Japan he returned to with the Japan he had fought for. He raised cattle. He rarely spoke about the war. He died in 2014, age 91. His Type 99 Arasaka is in a museum. The jungle has reclaimed his positions.